Hello to everyone. My name is NC Lightworker and welcome to the Black Off Grid YouTube channel. This video is part of the Real Talk video series where we are going to discuss issues as it relates to homesteading, prepping, and self-reliance before, during, and after a catastrophic event. I have a second YouTube channel under the name of NC Lightworker that will give you insight into my personal views and outlook regarding the future. I do not respond to questions, comments, or emails because as a lightworker, I am only here to present the information. The purpose of this video is to create an open forum for like-minded people. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to post your location in the intro video to this channel. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get started.
This commentary was inspired by a video that featured Akon, who is a recording artist from Africa. He was discussing why African Americans seem to lack interest in exploring Africa as it relates to establishing residency and businesses. As an African American, I never seriously considered the possibility of establishing residency in Africa prior to watching the video. So I got to thinking, what steps would I need to take to be able to purchase land in Africa? Now I know that there are some hardcore preppers out there that are wondering, well, what the heck does this have to do with SHTF? Well, in the video titled, Buying Land Before It Becomes Obvious, I predict that SHTF will be in the form of a global economic collapse and that the cost of land is eventually going to skyrocket as we draw nearer to this event. Land ownership is key to survival. I just want to present another option for obtaining land prior to SHTF. Now, choosing which country to research was not hard at all. Ghana has the largest population of African American expats. Many notable African Americans like W.B. Du Bois and Maya Angelou have resided in Ghana. In 2019, Ghana launched a campaign called the Year of Return, where they are actively trying to attract African Americans back to the homeland. This has even been in the form of easing the pathway to citizenship for African Americans. As mentioned in several videos, it is important that you always do the research. However, I was a little baffled as to how to start my research. My initial thought was, well, why don't you just email the president's office? And that's exactly what I did. I contacted the Office of Diaspora Affairs, and unfortunately, I didn't get a response. Then I thought, let me just contact the consulate that is located in the United States. And well, hey, I didn't get a response either. Lastly, I decided to go to the source of all information, which is no other than good old YouTube. And I came across some interesting videos about land ownership in Ghana. In this video, I'm going to highlight some key points that were made. Now, some of you out there are going to be thinking, man, she's being a real Debbie Downer in this video. And that's not the case at all. Moving to another country is a major life-changing event. One of the videos mentioned that a lot of people make this decision based off of a fancified notion. However, once they get there, they are smacked in the face by the cold hard facts of life. Please do not be that person. Always make sure you do your research before you make any moves. If you are interested in purchasing land in Ghana, the very first thing that you would need to consider is the very real possibility of getting scammed. The same type of scams that occur in America also occur in Ghana. This includes land that is sold by someone who is not the rightful owner, and land that is sold to more than one buyer. These issues are discussed in detail in my book, The Homestead Research Guide, What You Need to Know Before Buying Land. The book also educates you about the land buying and land registration process, which is very similar to that of Ghana. Land ownership is not official until it is registered in your name. In America, this is done through the County Register of Deeds. In Ghana, registration is obtained through the Lands Commission. Now, I use the term land ownership very loosely because land ownership in Ghana may be in the form of a leasehold, which means that you do not own the land outright. Ownership of the land reverts back to the original owner after the lease expires. The second thing that you will need to consider as an African American is that you are essentially trying to integrate yourself into an existing community. You have to understand that you are automatically at a disadvantage because you are a foreigner. You are not completely familiar with the country's culture and its customs, and you do not speak the native language. You also need to consider that if you are a victim of a scam, you may not have any legal recourse because you are not a citizen. Remember, citizenship is a process that takes time. Also, if someone that lives in another country is trying to sell you land in Ghana, then this should serve as a major red flag. Another thing to consider is the country's culture, both good and bad, and the country's political and social climate. Ghana, like all countries, has a history of corruption. As it relates to you, you will experience this on a small scale, which will be basically in the form of a quote-unquote tip. So if you are a victim of a scam, you may have to tip the police officer for taking a police report. You may also have to tip someone at the Lands Commission office in order for your paperwork to be processed in a timely fashion. Another interesting point that was made is that if you are married, you will need to be secure in your relationship. Ghana is a developing country, and as an American man, the women are going to be coming onto you strong because you represent wealth and a chance for them to upgrade. In so many words, you have to go through a chief. Now, you do have the option of purchasing land from a company that previously acquired land from a chief, or you can purchase land directly from a family. How successful you are in purchasing land all boils down to being able to establish relationships. If you don't already have a very close relationship with someone from Ghana, then I do not suggest that you attempt to purchase land. The chief basically acts as a real estate agent because the ultimate decision to sell land is made by the people of the community. Remember, As an African American, you are trying to integrate yourself into an existing community. With that being said, you will need to consider what can you bring to the table. What skills do you have that you can share with others in the community? What skills do you have as it relates to being able to develop the land? As mentioned earlier, land ownership may come in the form of a leasehold. However, the chief can make the decision to sell you the land as a freehold, which means that you will own the land outright. As part of the application process for citizenship, you may have to submit a letter of recommendation. How cool would that be if your letter came directly from a chief? Remember, it's all about being able to build relationships. The landscape of Africa is changing. There is an increased presence and business interest from foreign countries like China for the purpose of taking advantage of Africa's abundant resources. As the sons and daughters of Africa, we need to be part of this change. Rather than taking from Africa, we need to use the knowledge and skills that we acquired in America to help rebuild Africa into the global superpower it once was. It all starts with the process of reconnecting with the land and building relationships. As African Americans, America is only our physical home. However, Africa is and will always be our spiritual homeland. Our ancestors were brought to this country 400 years ago, and it is now time for us to make that physical connection with Africa once again, to know what it truly means to be a real African American. Having one foot in the land where your ancestors came from, and the other foot in the land that your ancestors built and will always rightfully belong to you.
The Homestead Research Guide, What You Need to Know Before Buying Land, is now available. The price of the book includes everything: taxes, shipping, the whole shebang, and the proceeds will help me to continue to make more videos for the Black Off Grid channel. Thank you in advance for your support.